Welcome back to the Mystery School. Today's lesson will focus on an area that affects all of us at some time in our life. If we live longer than average, it will affect us many times. This is the loss of someone that we love when they pass from this life. When the bonds between hearts and lives are particularly strong, no longer having your loved one in your daily life can be an almost unendurable torture. People really do die from a broken heart. I've seen it. It is because it is so hard to let go of someone that seems literally like a part of you that mediums who contact or purport to contact the dead do a booming business. I say purport, though, because I'm sure that there are some authentic mediums with the ability to communicate between realms. I do not believe that that's the case in many instances. More common would be like the Whoopi Goldberg character in the movie Ghost, a total fraud who was frightened and confused when the day came that a real spirit actually contacted her. The good news is that you do not need to go to a medium to be able to once again speak and feel comfort from someone you love that has passed. You can actually make that connection yourself, clearly and so tangibly that you'll want to reach out and touch them. And you can do this better than any medium, no matter how good they are, because it is a real connection that you personally have between your heart and the heart of the deceased loved one, between your mind and the mind of the deceased loved one, between your psychic energy center and the psychic energy center of the dear one who has passed. Nobody can connect with them more clearly, more surely, and more emotionally than you, because those connections do not need to be made. They already exist from all the years that you've spent together, from all the laughter you've shared and the tears, from failures endured and triumphs embraced and celebrated together. Nor do you need to have any special skills or have ever manifested any psychic abilities to do this wonderful technique. It doesn't matter what your religion is, whether you are rich or poor, your race is not important, whether you're young or old, doesn't matter, or any other variable. The ability to contact your deceased loved ones in the 2 to 6 month window right after they've passed, and longer in some instances, is a gift from God, given to every person upon this earth. A gift to help anyone that has suffered the loss of a loved one, to not suddenly have them yanked from your life, but instead to have the opportunity to slowly and gently and lovingly let them go. To have the opportunity to still talk with them about anything, to get their advice, to be comforted, loved, and reassured that everything's going to be okay, that they still love you more than ever, and that even if you live for decades more, it will only be like the blink of an eye before you're reunited again. I'm going to explain now how you make this blessed connection to a loved one that has passed. The method is very easy. Anyone can do it. You can do it. It doesn't require any special knowledge, skill, or ability. As I said, this is a gift that God gave to all people. I'm just going to show you how to open the present. When you do this simple technique, you will be able to have a normal conversation as if your loved one was sitting right beside you. In fact, their spirit actually will be sitting beside you, and you will be able to clearly see them as well as talk to them. Now, you can do this anywhere, anytime, but the manifestation will be easiest when you're doing it for the first few times if you choose a location such as your loved one's favorite chair where they spend a lot of time. It's helpful if you spend a lot of time together in that location, but that's actually not necessary. It's mostly important that the person that passed spent a lot of time there. Maybe they like to garden outside. If so, that would be a great place to contact them. Or perhaps they worked at a desk at home. Then that would be a wonderful place to look for them. If you traveled together in the car a lot, then sitting in the car is a good choice as long as the engine is not running, which would create an electromagnetic interference. If you typically shared dinner together, then sitting at the dinner table can also be a great location. Simply go to the location where the two of you frequently spent some time together or where they spent a lot of time. look at the chair or the place where your loved one frequented. Now simply say their first name, while looking at the place they frequently sat. If you do this within 2 months of their passing, you will often immediately and visibly have them appear to you. Now it's not going to be physical like I am right now. It'll be in a ghostly type image, but they'll be there and they'll be recognizable. As time passes, it will become more difficult for the deceased person's spirit to return to the physical world of strife and challenge, when a world of peace and bliss beckons them so strongly. And when you begin speaking with their visible spirit, their replies may be audible that you hear in your ears, or they may be telepathic that you hear in your mind, but it will distinctly be their voice speaking to you. If you do not get an immediate appearance when you say their name, while you're looking at the spot that they frequently sat, you should say their name 3 times in succession, such as John, John, John. If you're contacting a deceased parent, you should call them by the name that you were accustomed to calling them, such as Dad, 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 or perhaps Mama, 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 and that's it. This very simple technique will work for anyone in the first 2 months after a loved one has passed, and for the most part up to 6 months. You can ask any question and get reliable answers, such as, "Honey, where did you hide the insurance policy?" I was very close to both my father and my mother, and I used this simple technique several times to have them with me again. And I really needed to see them and talk with them to help calm my own emotions after they had passed. My father in particular, I spoke to face in multiple locations multiple times. Usually this was just for a few minutes at a time, but that was such a balm on my heart. Now, this wonderful gift of God technique will also work with close friends as well as loved ones in your family. If you had many shared experiences together, you will have established strong mind-to-mind and heart-to-heart connections. As long as those 2 connections exist, your friend's spirit will manifest when you call. It's an energetic, magnetic attraction for that moment in time that bridges the physical realm of this life with the glorious realm of the next. Friend or loved one, you can also ask and usually get answers to difficult questions that the person was perhaps reluctant to answer in life. Once they've passed on, they no longer have fear of repercussions in the physical life, and they'll almost always answer any question that you ask. Oftentimes, even with someone that you love, there were underlying frictions and perhaps even schisms in the relationship that were never able to be resolved or even perhaps properly addressed. Communicating with your loved one after they have passed and talking about those difficult situations or aspects of your relationship can quickly erase the negative energy and leave you with only the best and happiest memories and feelings about one another. It's a wonderful balm to be able to resolve unresolved issues, to say you are sorry and to ask for forgiveness, or to accept their apology and give them forgiveness. And once forgiven, to let the issue pass forever and be remembered no more. Instead, let love from one to the other forever grow and expand for time and all eternity. Namaste, my brothers and sisters.